Hey everybody, and welcome back to Susquehanna River Valley. It has been a while. It has been a while for sure. Looking back, the last stream we did was the middle of winter. It's now early summer. And most of our fields are ready to harvest. So that is what we're going to be doing today. Good evening to you also there, fine sir. Ed, what's up, GoldenEye, and Douglas. Douglas, keep an eye out either tonight or tomorrow. We're going to be doing either a double header today, a live stream tonight, or a live stream tomorrow, and you're up next. Well, what is up? Those that didn't catch last night's live stream on Eastern Shore, sounds like we have put that one to bed as far as testing goes. Will has to fix a few thousand trees. And once that's done, he'll get her ready for release. Now, we are going to be doing just a few more things on this map. We're going to be harvesting our fields today, but not all of our fields are ready to harvest. We're going to harvest the last of our fields probably mid-summer when they're ready to harvest, and then we're going to be selling off our animals and basically seeing where we sit as far as money goes. But yeah, $3 million in the bank. Compost has been good to us, and anyone that might remember how much straw we had last year after our summer harvest, it was like 1.7 million liters. I've gone through it all. There's no more straw. All we're doing at this point is stockpiling manure. Rich, what's up? I watched your video on Courseplay. Does that use a helper or no? Well, it's the equivalent of a helper. When you turn on Courseplay, you can decide if you're going to pay your helper or not. At least that's how it used to be. I haven't looked at Courseplay for a while. But yeah, it's in essence a helper. The helper is basically managed by the Courseplay scripts. Got a great demand for milk. Sadly, I don't have a lot of milk. I've pretty much sold all of my milk. I've got about 5,000 liters of milk, but it's really not worth going and selling at the rate. The plan is today to just take this straight to market. This is one of the add-on crops, and the prices on the add-on crops, they don't seem to vary that drastically from day to day, so I'm just gonna fill a trailer and go straight to market on it. Well, thank you, Rich. Thank you very much. We're gonna have a whole heap ton of how-tos and guide videos once we get access to FS22. Gonna be quite a busy end of the year There we are. We got field of... What is this? Field of... Forget what I've even planted. Field of millet. All of our fields are in millet. Any thoughts on Elm Creek? Elm Creek, if you didn't catch my Welcome to Elm Creek video earlier this week, Elm Creek, in my opinion, is the best map Giants has ever released. No offense to the fans of the French map, but yeah, I think Elm Creek is the best map Giants has released. Hands down. The second map is based in southern France. It was a map that was showed off during the Gamescom videos. We see it from time to time in fact sheets and other screenshots. If you've seen a screenshot that's had a hot air balloon in it, the French map has hot air balloons. We've yet to see a hot air balloon on any of the Elm Creek videos or imagery. If you've seen any preview build videos where you have that big watermark down in the lower corner that says preview build, those are all on the French map, from what I understand. I've got a video on that one in the FS22 news channel also. That goes back a few months though, I think. And I have to say, there was a comment on the Welcome to Elm Creek video really blew my mind. A viewer of the channel who's been a pretty consistent critic of FS22. Everyone's right to their opinion, you know, and he felt that he's been a little bit too critical. He seems like he's changing his mind on his thought process of 22, and I was impressed at that. I was impressed at him deciding that maybe he had given Giants a little bit too much of a critical eye, or was a little bit too cynical, and was willing to maybe come around. That the game is maybe coming out a bit better than he initially thought it might. But hey, everyone's valued to their own opinion. I know we tease a little bit about the folks that are like, it's just FS19 with mods. But, yeah, everyone's valued to your opinion. Ed, definitely it's going to come out on the 22nd. Depending on what time zone you're on, it might come out before that. So, for example, those of us here in the States will be able to get FS22 on November 21st. In fact, the countdown timer you see up there is counting down to midnight, November 22nd, CEST, which for me is just over 22 days. Hey everybody, and welcome back to Susquehanna, River Valley. It has been, feels like a month since we've been live streaming on this map. A lot has happened. It is now early summer, and we have 6 fields, I believe, that are ready to harvest. We're harvesting millet, getting some straw to take over to our compost machine, because all of that straw that we had last summer, I think it was 1.7 million liters of it, that's all been used. And now we have 20,000 liters of manure because we have no more straw down here at the compost factory. That is why we are putting out the straw. We're going to collect some for the compost factory, but we're not going to collect it all. We have no need for a massive amount of straw again, because plans are we're going to harvest all our fields for our summer harvest, and we're putting this map to bed. There's some other folks that are still playing on the server. We'll let them play on the server till they feel they're done, but we're going to be done once we complete our summer harvest. Ed, what I've heard is Lars did a podcast interview, YouTube video the other day for a German channel. It's in German, which makes it a little hard to understand, but YouTube closed captioning for the win. Lars made a comment that sounded like physical discs may already be made. He seemed to imply that there were physical media in the office in Germany. So it sounds like the discs are made, which if they weren't, they sure should be getting produced, because of the fact that we're down to just a few weeks to go, and we have global distribution being the way it is. Right, you got to get physical media out there. So it sounds like the physical discs are made. So now it's just, what changes need to be made to the code between now and release. That will basically be the day 1 patch. So I have no doubt that it will release on the prescribed date and time. GoldenEye, what is up? Yep, we've done some videos on the different box designs. So I think North America, or maybe the Americas, is going to get a box art of the case. And then there is a Fent on the box. I think a Z-Tor, and maybe something else. Maybe a Kloss. Well, Chris, I'd say the physical disc doesn't cost much to produce. I'd say probably the bigger cost would be distribution, and the fact that everyone gets their own little cut. So with physical media, you have the cost of it being pressed, you have the cost of the box, you have the cost to ship it from the disc manufacturer to a wholesaler, distributor. Then you have the cost to ship it from there to regional wholesalers. Then you have the cost to ship it to a retailer. Then you have the retailer markup, and then there you go. But I will say that digital content isn't all, you know, glorious in profit margin either. Steam will typically take up to 30% of the sale. So if you have a game that sells for $10, let's say, the Steam is going to get $3 of that $10, and then the game developer is going to get $7. So that's kind of why Giants really prefers, let's say, that you buy from their eShop directly, because then the sale is directly to Giants and it doesn't go through a content distributor like Steam or Epic or any of the other various ways to get the content. Oh, okay. Yeah, I found that video a little hard to follow because the YouTube translations weren't the greatest. It's like it just stuck random words in there in sentences that didn't make any sense. I don't know if it was a particular dialect, if it was some sort of issue with like an accent, or if they were just talking so fast that YouTube was like, words are mixing together. Well, since we're talking about physical media, I looked today and the collector's edition, I've already made a YouTube post on this. The collector's edition is available for pre-order now at Amazon, the US Amazon. For the longest time it was listed, but it was listed as out of stock and you couldn't order it. Now the add to cart button is available. If you're interested in that, then Explanation FS22CE for collector's edition will cause Streamlabs to pop up the Amazon link to that. That's of course the US based Amazon. The podcast is a combination of Dutch, Swedish, and German languages. That would really cause the translator to take a loop, right? Before we get too far into this video is brought to you by Talk Bravo. Thank you for being a farm baron. And how about we center that thing? The John Deere video at FarmCon was interesting. Honestly, I thought it droned on for way too long myself. The guy is obviously very, very knowledgeable. Passionate about what he does. But whoa, I thought it was a bit too long. The old attention span was starting to lapse on that video. But here, let me pull up the box art. I've got images of this box art. Let's pull it up. If I can find it. If I can find it. Oh, here it is. So we have the case box art. Then we have a Fent, Massey Ferguson, and a Z-Tor. There you go. Well, thank you, Ed. Thank you very much. So yeah, I can imagine someone that's a collector, like, wanting to collect all the box art. It wouldn't be me, but I could see somebody trying to collect the various box arts. Delilah, welcome. If you didn't check out last night's stream was your Farm Baron video. I'll be recording the first impressions to Eastern Shore later today for sure, and get that video edited and uploaded so that it is ready to rock and roll the instant I hear that the map is ready for download. The guesstimate on that will be Monday, November 1st for that particular map drop. Keep an eye out, simplysafemods.com for that one. And we're going to be going up here and harvesting fields 10, 11, 12, and 13, in addition to these two smaller fields. I kind of hope millet is in a good price. 621 and climbing. I will try to remember that for Monday. I'll tell you a suggestion that I gave them a while back. I don't know if they're going to pick up on it, but seriously, there would be people that would buy Elm Creek merch. Like, you know, Elm Creek has a baseball team, the Wolves. I know people that would, without a moment's hesitation, buy an Elm Creek Wolves jersey, or an Elm Creek Wolves t-shirt, or a baseball that had Elm Creek Wolves printed on it. Or like one of those little souvenir bats that had like Elm Creek Wolves, like wood burned on it. You'll have zombies tomorrow. As soon as your clock turns October 31st, zombies will start walking your maps. Delilah, you should fire up one of the base maps. Elm Creek or Erlengrot, and or not Erlengrot, Elm Creek or Felsburn. Not Elm Creek. Daggone it, I've already changed my mind. FS22. Ravenport or Felsburn. And to see them walking around tomorrow. Sadly, Farm Sim 22 will release in November. We'll have to wait nearly 11 months to see if that Easter egg is in 22. Ron, what's up? Welcome to the stream. We're doing some of our final harvest here on Susquehanna River Valley. We've played 24-day seasons, which no longer sounds long, with the ability to have a 28-day month in FS22. Because 24-day seasons is basically the equivalent of an 8-day month. 8-day month. Versus a 28-day month. Oh, Ed. Why did the farmer beat his milk cans? I don't know. He wanted to make whipped cream. Oh, that's a bad one. That's a dad joke of the day right there. That was a bad joke of the day. Also remember, there's one more giveaway for Farm Sim 22. It's going to be going on November 22nd on release day. Streamlabs will be putting up Stream.io link every 30 minutes or so. Or if you do explanation giveaway, it'll pop up. If you're looking to maybe try to pick up a free copy of Farm Sim 22 for PC, go ahead and enter to win. Sneak on in here. And let's grab some cloths. It's time we improve the cloths of this stream. The big old cloths 5000. I want to see if I want to make more straw or not by collecting the straw that we've got down here. I suspect Nitro Dad will be back for sure. I'm sure he's going to take a little bit of time to learn some of the differences between FS19 and FS22 map making by exporting one of the base maps and poking around. You know, there's things like the ambient occlusion to understand how that's implemented, how to use and add that to your own maps and items. Things like the parallax occlusion for ground textures, building textures, and the like. Those are all things that are going to really, really stand out with respect to a map that is been built toward FS22 versus a map that simply runs on FS22. If there are anything unique to the DX12 changes, the lighting engine, texture changes that might have to happen as a result of that for custom crop textures, etc. So no doubt that they'll be back. It's just we're probably going to take some time early on to really understand what makes an FS22 map unique and different. Ed Reed, thank you. Thank you so much. I have to admit, I can't remember. Is that a renewal or is that a new membership? Well, I guess it's new because your name didn't have the... Duh. I'm gonna use a little intelligence. Your name didn't have a... badge next to it before. Thank you very much. Big old round of applause to Ed. I'll be updating my end credits this weekend. So you will see that there are a fair bit of videos that have been recorded ahead of time. And now that you are a member of the channel, you'll have access to those if you go to the community channel. I'll be posting probably the remainder of the Griffin, Indiana videos tomorrow. I've got to record 3 more, and then they will be done. And we'll be in a position to, well, focus on other things as we lead into the FS22 launch. Let's see, we've got what, 20,000 liters of manure down there, and we need 3 times the straw for the manure. So I need 60,000 liters of straw. So yeah, I don't need any more straw. I'm good with what I got. How about those fact sheets? Fact Sheet Friday dropped yesterday. What about those fact sheets? What did I miss? I don't see what I missed. We've got the Voltra. Yeah, I got it. Yeah. Yeah, I got it. Came up. I was being an idiot and said I wasn't sure if you had renewed or if that was a new membership. And then I realized that I could answer my own question by looking at your previous comments and seeing if there was a badge or not besides your name, and there wasn't, so that it was obviously a new membership. So yeah. And that's what led me to say that I was going to update the swirling credits later this weekend and then add your name to that, and that you now had access to some pre-released videos in the community channel. And there's going to be some videos that have already been recorded. In fact, all of the Fellsburn videos have been recorded, so they have the old credits on them. And almost all of the Griffin, Indiana videos have been recorded, other than the last 3 for winter. So they'll still have the old credits on them, but new videos produced going forward. New videos going forward, you'll see your name listed up there. And we'll continue to do our best to try to get the videos out to everybody. Now, today might be a double stream. It might be double streaming tonight. I might be crazy and try to stream NASCAR 21 again. Is it going to be a big gong fest? But I was doing a little NASCAR the other day, and they've improved some things. They've not improved everything, but they've improved some things. So we'll give it another stream tonight, maybe. If not tonight, tomorrow. Carl, what is up, buddy? Give a round of applause. The super chat, Carl. Thank you very much. From one American friend to an Aussie friend, I say thank you. I am doing good. I hope you are doing good, Carl. Hope you're looking forward to FS22. Then we had a big case harvester harvesting sorghum. So I had no idea how sorghum was harvested in real life until the game improvement post from 2 weeks ago, where they talked about changing the header height. And in that fact sheet video, or in that fact sheet, we saw what it would look like now to harvest sorghum with the higher header and the long chaff or straw stubble left in the field. And then we saw a big case Magnum and a big Demco auger wagon once again going through the harvested sorghum field. We saw a new McCormick tractor, the X8, I believe it is. So if you haven't seen that fact sheet video, definitely go check it out. I tell you, canola looks like it's rough. Like, you don't want to be walking through a canola field. It looks spiny and prickly. And from what I understand, the plants kind of intertwine with each other. That's why you have those vertical cutters. Oops. So yeah, now that we know that we need to run, I mean, the early NASCAR stream the other day was a little rough because it pulls on the graphics card a bit more than I was expecting, so we know we can't run at the super ultra settings. We got to run a little lower and move the encoding over to the CPU. Thankfully, we got enough cores to do that job. We got our wheel working. It was funny, I was saying last night, they patched my wheel right out of the game. It was working on the 26th, which was early access launch to those that pre-ordered. And then on regular launch day, the 28th, they released like 2 patches on the 28th. And my wheel no longer worked. Yeah, it was a big sad day for me. But I did figure out a workaround. Honestly, I shouldn't have to figure out a workaround, but I got a workaround. So yeah, we're doing good. We got no straw now. We don't need any more. I have a fairly basic wheel. I've got a Thrustmaster T150. It is basically the Pro variant because I've got some add-on wheels or add-on pedals that are available in the Pro. I've had this wheel for probably going on 5 years now. They are basically phasing this wheel out for the TMX. I think it is. The TMX is the new kind of entry-level Thrustmaster wheel. Yeah, they still toss you like literally 3, 2, 1, go. And that's really disorienting. I mean, I thought the F1 games did it good. They take you out on it. You can either elect to drive out on your warm-up lap, or, you know, if you start the race, you do a standing start. But like if you're doing qualifying or something like that, practice, they take you out 3 or 4 or so turns before the start finish straight, and wait till you're on like a semi-straight section of the track, and then give you control. So we don't need straw anymore, so we'll turn that off. Set this up. Yeah, I don't know how much longer my wheel's going to hold out. It feels like the bearing is real loose. You know, the wheel kind of wiggles around and it's on its shaft a little bit. So I might have to get a new wheel in the next few months. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not really keen on replacing the wheel because like the setup I have would require an extreme amount of effort to detach my pedals that are bolted to the rig that I sit in. So I think if I do anything, I would probably replace the wheel with something I knew worked with the pedals I have, which is probably the new Thrustmaster TMX. So then all I have to do is kind of swap out the base and plug in the pedals again. Well, I mean, what they should do is bring you in at the start-finish line of the pace lap, give you full control on the back straight, and then let you pace around turn 3 and 4, and then boogity, 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 let's go racing. So you have full control well before you need full control. DD Schlinn, what is up? Welcome to the stream. And I honestly haven't followed NASCAR in a long time. So I don't even know who's running right now. Let alone to have a favorite. We'll say that Chevy's number one. So I got out of following NASCAR when Monster took over. I think, honestly, in my opinion, Monster was the worst thing to ever happen to NASCAR. I felt that when it was sponsored by Sprint, I felt it was a class product. I felt when Monster took it over, they turned it into a trash product. And at that point, it was all about selling their product and basically selling, you know, scantily clad ladies. It's like all of a sudden we got grid girls. It's like, what the heck's up with that? Yeah, I always thought the Sprint Cup girls were in that sexy, classy type category. They were always in a race suit, so it's not like, you know, it's not like they had a lot of exposed skin, and it's not like a race suit is overly flattering to the figure, but they had that classy, sexy appeal to them. Whereas Monster is just like, let's just put them out there in short shorts and cut off shirts and give people something to look at. And it's not a family product. I'm not into it. But I like racing. I don't know. I look at some of the replays, some of the highlight videos, and attendance looks like it's down a lot at a lot of tracks. And I wonder how much is down because of just people not liking the product anymore. Select, you mean Toyota? Well, I mean, a lot of Toyotas are built in the U.S. In fact, I would say probably more Toyotas are built in the U.S. than Chevys or Ford. Are you talking about drivers, though? Yeah, true. But I mean, this day and age, is the manufacturer really providing them anything? I guess the manufacturer might provide them racing engines. I don't know. I mean, it's a body kit. It's a body skin. So it's not like it's the actual body of the stock car. Stock car racing is racing a car that you can go out and buy. Well, you can't buy that Toyota Camry, right? So let's get back to farm sim talking, right? Let's get back to that. So I was thinking the other day, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna turn seasonal cycles on or off? And if you leave it on, what are you gonna play? What duration of seasonal months are you gonna set it on? I think for funsies' sake, I think I'm gonna set my very first play in FS22. I think I'm gonna set it to 1 day months, like it was originally announced. And the reason is I can use my 4 years of gameplay on Griffin, Indiana, which is going to conclude literally Friday before FS22 releases. I can use that gameplay as a kind of a benchmark on playing 1 day months in 19 versus 1 day months in 22. And then, you know, for every subsequent play, I'll probably tweak the month duration around until I find something that I really like. $28-day months. Holy cow, Ford. That is a marathon. A marathon. So a 12-day season is a 4-day month. Yep, 4-day months. Look, okay, Chris, this is... It's incrementing by 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way up to 28. And because we're counting by months in FS22, which is a third of the duration of FS19's counting by seasons. So it's increments of 1. Because we're counting by months. So a 28-day month is a 96-day season. If you were to translate that to FS19 language. Or a 336-day year. So I did a spreadsheet. Let me pull it up. I did a spreadsheet that showed the breakdown of months to seasons to years. And here it is. So a 28-day month, is an 84-day season, or 336 days over the course of a single game year. These numbers represent the seasonal durations of FS19. So the longest we could play in FS19 was a 24-day season, which is the equivalent of an 8-day month, and is 96 days in a game year. If you go to the fullest extent of a 28-day month, you're going to have 336 game days in a year. That is a marathon. A marathon of gameplay. Oh, Ed's going all in. Oh. Well, somebody turned crop destruction off. Ed's going all in. So one thing that confused me a little bit in that interview that Lars did, and we'll have to see how it all plays out, but it sounded like what he was saying was you can change the month duration anytime you want, but the change won't take effect until the following month. So what that means is, on a new game save, your first month is always 1 day long. Because when you start a game save, it's going to default to 1 day month. And you can start the game and immediately change it to 28-day months. But your first month will be 1 day long. And then your second month will start the 28-day duration. And then let's say you decide, oh my gosh, 28 days is way too long. I want to change it to 12. The 12-day month won't start out until the third month, or March. Because he did say your first month in January. So it sounds like your game saves are going to start in January. Whereas with seasons, your first day is early spring, which is technically March. So that'll be interesting. That'll be interesting for sure. If that is indeed the case, then everyone's first month in the game save is 1 day. Which probably isn't that big of a deal if you're starting in the middle of winter. It's not like there's a whole lot of work to do. Whoa, what happened? Oh. That's what I wanted to do. Ah, rum tops. That ought to be interesting. I'm not sure how keen I'd be on them, but I could see how one would appreciate those. What are your all's thoughts on the Spader that was part of the fact sheets yesterday? I had never heard of a Spader before. I don't know if they use them here in the States or not. I gotta think they would have some problem with rocky soil here on the East Coast. Jelly or Jello. I've heard of Jello shots. I only have never heard of jelly shots. Back up the truck. Yeah, I mean, that's what I was getting out of the translate. But I'm gonna say that I'm gonna wait until I can see how it works. I can see how they would pack a punch. For sure. And then he was talking, so right at the end they asked about release. And it seemed as if there was a statement that said a global release on midnight for everybody. But then there was other talk about various digital platforms like Steam and such. And he was rambling off like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, which is typically when Steam releases games here on the East Coast. So I don't know if we're going to get a true global launch on all platforms at the exact same moment, or if it's going to be like Steam releases the game whenever Steam releases the game on the 22nd. And same with Epic and the various other platforms, Xbox, PS4, etc. Hey, we're half full already. Man, this thing's filling up fast. I mean, with the parallax occlusion of the ground, it's going to appear rougher than the flat plow texture that we've ever seen before, but it's not dynamic ground. And everyone holds cattle and crops up as the game that had dynamic ground, but I say that there were trade-offs on that. And the trade-offs were that the fields were the fields. There was no expanding the fields. There was no creating new fields or changing the shapes of fields. You had the fields as they were provided to you, and their dynamic ground only existed in the fields, as I understood it. So would you be willing to give up the ability to truly customize your map, your gaming experience, by no longer being able to create a field, no longer being able to expand or merge fields, in order to have that dynamic ground? And I would say a lot of players would be not willing to do that. If that was truly a, you get this or you get that, which do you want? Farmers Dynasty, did they have dynamic ground, or that you couldn't change fields in any way? Ryan, what's up? Welcome to the stream. Glad you can make it. What's the price? What are we going to get for this great product? $629. So we're going to get over $70,000 a load. Nice. Compost is good at $525. So once we sell our load of millet, I'm going to go sell that compost. Got nearly a full load of compost this point. Well then, Chris, at that point you would have performance issues. To have that much ground truly be that dynamic. I think you would run into some performance issues calculating out the ground, every square meter of ground across a 2 kilometer by 2 kilometers square, or a 4x map like this, 4 kilometers by 4 kilometers. And you wouldn't have dynamic ground on a hard road surface. You wouldn't want to see your tires sink into a hard road surface. Chase down the mail lady. Where's my shifter? Okay, so Farmer's Fantasy has dynamic ground and fixed fields. We're not going to be able to get all the way up here and turn around, so. We definitely need brakes on this truck. Fully loaded, this truck does not want to slow down. Is it still raining up there? It's a nice clear day down here. Rained yesterday though. I don't know, it sounded like they ran out of money. They blew through the money that they had gotten with kind of the whole GoFundMe thing. And then they blew through the money from people buying it in early access on Steam and such. And then they basically launched a not yet done game as version 1.0 based on their own kind of roadmap. And it seems like they weren't able to continue to keep investment funds coming in to continue the development. What'll be interesting to see is if any of those individuals come back to Farm Sim as modders. There were a number of those individuals that were previously fairly well-known modders for FS19, and they decided they didn't like the direction. Oh shoot. They decided they didn't like the direction that Farm Sim, they weren't modders for FS19, they were modders for Farm Sim. They didn't like the direction Farm Sim was going or not going, and they wanted to go out and make their own product. And they got a fair way down making their product, but I think maybe they were a bit too ambitious about their product for the first iteration. So it'll be interesting to see if any of those individuals come back to Farm Sim and do modding for 22 or not. Or if they've had enough of it. A GPS for 15, which was the same GPS that worked in 17. And that GPS may have went even further back. I don't know. But a lot of mods came over very easily between 15 and 17. So yeah, this is going to fill our truck up, then we're going to go sell it. Oh no, Cat on Crops had mods. There weren't a lot of them, but Cat on Crops did have mods. To my understanding, no one ever made a mod map for Cat on Crops, because my understanding is that mod maps in Cat on Crops required you to basically use Blender to create the entire map. And Blender is a 3D modeling program. Many modders use Blender to create things like a truck or a trailer or a tractor or a building. But the idea of using Blender to create an entire map is and sounds like a fairly daunting task. All right, let's go sell it. I think the easiest way is just take this road out to the interstate and up. What game is that, Phil? We're gonna need to get fuel. Slow down. Watch out for guardrails. That is for sure. Now, next Friday, tune in next Friday for the first installment of Forza Friday. Forza is coming out for those that have the deluxe edition. I think it's deluxe edition for November 5th. So we've been talking about Forza Fridays on the channel for quite a long time, and That's coming next Friday. We're going to continue to do our Convoy Monday nights, at least until the end of the year, with the only exception being Monday, November 22nd. I think clearly you understand why we're not doing a Convoy night on Monday, November 22nd. But yeah, we'll be doing Forza Fridays. Anybody wanting to do that, be a part of that, you need to join the Discord, Explanation Discord, and obviously have Forza Horizon 5. It releases for everybody on the 9th. So we'll be having a little fun on the 5th with those folks that have it on the 5th. If you don't have it on the 5th, that's fine. There'll be plenty of folks that'll get it and continue to be playing it for quite a long time afterwards. Oh, slow down, slow down, slow down. Back up the truck, Chuck. This is where I want to turn. And then when FS22 comes out, well, of course, we're going to be doing live streams on that. As well as working on a ton of content. Ton of content. Trying to put the finishing touches on my new map video rating system that we're gonna basically premiere with the FS22 base maps. Oh, I guess it's a logging game, no doubt. Oh, so it's like a heavy equipment open world thing. So you get in and you just use heavy equipment to do what things heavy equipment does. Okay, if you're into that kind of thing and the controls work out, it could be something that you definitely could sink some time into for sure. We better fuel up. Before we run this thing out of gasoline. Harry's back. Kerry said he's going to try to raise cabbages. Good luck to him on that one. I had my fill of being a vegetable farmer on, what was Bucks County. Sinking. The whole world is sinking. What are we gonna do with it? Six-foot ripper. Captain Jack. Welcome. Sir. Head into Subway, get myself some lunch. Well, Chris, you may not be aware, but Giants has actually made such a simulator. They have a few other titles to their name other than Farm Sim. I don't know how old they go back. Oh, it's all good, Captain Jack. Once your internet's back, you'll be able to watch replays. Or join us maybe tonight. Like I said, I think we might be streaming a doubleheader today. We might stream some NASCAR 21 tonight or tomorrow. I do need to spend some time doing a map video today. And I want to try to finish out Griffin, Indiana. I've got 3 more videos to record for that. So I might basically pound that out tonight and then look at streaming some NASCAR 21 tomorrow. Or stream that tonight and hammer out the Farm Sim stuff tomorrow. Who knows? So Demolition Simulator, that is like the reverse of Construction Simulator. This will put us over $3.1 million. And then we will have enough straw to continue to take some manure down there until we get rid of the cows, get rid of the sheep. We'll do that at the last stream, which will be the next stream we do on this map. Uh-oh, he's left again. Well, thank you very much, Phil. Well, it's sad to hear, Captain Jack, but you know, maybe your schedule will change at some point. And until then, I'll be glad to keep that itch scratched. I caught a little flack for my frustrations in the latest map video, but according to a recent commenter, anyone trying to play that map would be equally frustrated with just gameplay issues. She's a looker, but apparently not a you know, you've seen those, for the guys in chat, you've seen those ladies. They're lookers, but then they start talking and you're like, oh, stop. Just stop. Maybe the map is that. She's a looker, but you don't want her talking to you for long, because it's just like fingernails on a chalkboard. $3.149 million. This is why I'm not collecting the straw for pellets. We really don't need the money. Like so many people, I'm getting in the mode of FS19 was fun and all, but let's shut things down and put her to bed and get ready for 22. Yeah, starting next Friday, expect a lot of Forza content in the channel for the next few weeks until FS22 is out. Maybe some Glutton for Punishment, NASCAR 21. Really disappointed about the multiplayer in that. I haven't been able to join a session yet, but what I hear, it's basically what you would expect from anything that has a public lobby. But I tell you, the map, like I said in the video, I think it's worth a download just to ride around. Get a horse and just ride around. Well, I mean, Mr. Swede, welcome to the stream. I say, Captain Jack, other than seeing the gameplay videos, the trailer videos, the screenshots, she's a looker, right? We won't know till we get to play it how well it plays. I mean, NASCAR 21 looked nice, but it plays like a turd. It's a big gong show. You're a loser. All we can hope is that FS22 isn't in the same boat. But we won't know till we get it. Right? We won't know till we get it. But the latest Welcome to Elm Creek video was like, are you kidding me? Thing looks amazing. Screenshots from the Elm Creek video blog post, they are just absolutely incredible. Yeah, totally. I mean, so those of you on Steam can easily tell how many hours you have in the game. I'm curious how many hours you all have. I am sitting at 3,661 hours. I have officially topped Farm Sim 17. I had 3,500 hours in Farm Sim 17. So we have officially topped FS 17. Will we have that many hours in FS 22? Only time will tell, really. Only time will tell. Now, I did have an extra year to get those hours in 19. But the way I see it, if you put $1 an hour in, so if a game costs $100, if you play it for 100 hours, that's $1 an hour of entertainment. Where can you be entertained for $1 an hour? Right? Oh my gosh, 6,000 hours. So if you put in more than $1 an hour, or more than an hour per buck, then yeah, it's some of the cheapest entertainment you'll ever get. That'll probably be the biggest thing moving from the Steam copy to the eStore copy or physical media is not having a track of hours. Because I've got my collector's edition on order. I ordered that back in July when it came on sale over at Best Buy. And now, for anyone that wants to know, you can now get the collector's edition off of Amazon. They're now accepting orders. know you can add a third-party game to the Steam launcher. I don't know if it tracks it. I definitely know you can add it to the Steam launcher, which is different than redeeming the code on Steam. I'm pretty sure you can't do that. But anyone that does want to pick up the collector's edition off of Amazon, I've got an affiliate link. Just do explanation FS22CE and it'll spit out the Amazon link. That is an affiliate link, so I do get a little bit of a credit on that. And I also get a credit on anything actually bought through that link. So if you click on that link and then go buy some silverware, I much appreciate your order of silverware. I'll get a couple bucks off that, depending on how much you spend. I suggest you buy the most expensive silverware you can find. Yeah, you can't cheap out when you're talking about forks and knives and spoons. Yeah, you want quality metals that you're putting in your mouth. All the snow definitely looks like an update. I've seen some stills of even the trailer video, well, it wasn't a gameplay trailer, right? We haven't seen gameplay snow plowing, have we? I don't think we have. Whoa, slow down. Thunder Monkey, what is up? You never cheap out. Always take the best stuff with you. So let me tell you this true story. That's what I feel like when I tell stories. It's just I'm talking to crickets. Let me tell you this true story. I was complaining to my oldest that she needed to bring up bowls and plates and silverware from her basement apartment because she likes to save up stuff until, you know, she's got like a whole bunch of stuff to bring up and then she fills up the sink. Well, we're running low on bowls. We're running low on some other stuff. And it's like, where did it all go? So my wife tells me that one day she saw a bowl and a spoon in the trash. And we think our youngest, when we tell him to clean up the table, we think he's throwing it in the trash. When she mentioned it to him, he said, well, you always pile the trash on top. So he thought she was just piling all the paper trash and stuff off the table and like an empty soda can or the empty juice pouches on a plate. And he thought she was just throwing it all in the trash. So who knows how many bowls and pieces of silverware he's thrown in the trash. but she's like, I think I know where all your missing plates and silverware went. Oh my gosh, I can't holler at him. I can't holler at him. The youngest he'll be 8 next month. His birthday is actually on Thanksgiving this year. Now our oldest is 17. We set her up with a little bit of a basement apartment, so she's got a bedroom down there, and the front half of the basement is still the family room, living room, but we never really go down there. So she's kind of got a two-room apartment downstairs, and she's kind of equipped it out. She works, so she's bought her own stuff. She's got like a little fridge down there, a little microwave. But yeah, he's 7 going on 8, and he's a great kid. It's just, yeah, no idea he was throwing things out. But it does explain where a whole lot of plastic bowls have gone. Yeah, so she's going to be heading off to college next fall. Big time there. There we go. Oh no, Thor didn't get the right roll. So it looks like we're going to be able to finish off these 3 fields. And it's going to leave field 12 left to harvest. Then we have 2 of our big fields and these 2 little fields left to still come due for harvest. Carrie's up here working this field. I'm going to turn him off. Where's his truck? We don't need his hired helper spending his money. So that's Carrie's farm. He's got a few fields ready to harvest. And then we have Ravenhawk up there. And we're the only 3 that are still playing on the server. But we're going to close out our gameplay once we get our fields harvested. Because I think if we planted any crop after this one, it's not going to be due until after FS22's out. And just don't have the interest to come back. Oh, you're like, we're saving all the money at the grocery store because we're not having to buy food for them. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. She's thinking she's going to live on campus the first semester, maybe the first year. She plans to go to college the same place we both work. So We've told her she can't get away with anything because, well, we're there. But who knows? She'll either love living on campus or she'll hate it, right? That's what happens usually. But yeah, we told him no, you don't throw your plates away. You throw your trash away and you put the plates and the silverware and the bowls in the sink. So he's on board. He's on board with that now. I'll be really excited to see the new harvest animations in 22. They talked about having different animations for the feeding into the harvester. Different headers even have different animations. So that'll be interesting to see. Yeah, I think one of her motivations is the car she has is a 2004 Kia Sorento. It's really low mileage. It was a friend of ours' mother's car, and she really didn't drive it that much. And then she passed away, and it kind of sat for a year or so. And then the friends of ours would drive it on occasion, but they're classic rednecks. They've got like 7 vehicles. So, you know, they would drive it on occasion in their rotation. And she got it. We bought it. Ranged the price. She's been making payments on it for over a year now. So, but it doesn't get the best mileage. And with gas prices the way they are, driving 30 some miles each way every day for classes, I think that lost its appeal. Double DDP, that is something that we don't know anything about, really, is general animal care. Now, in that interview that I keep referencing that Lars did just recently, he makes some statements about animal care being not that much different than 19, or at least maybe feeding your animals not that different. In 19, he makes reference to the new concentrate, kind of a mineral, a food supplement additive. I'm gonna put a link to that interview if I can find it. Here it is. So here's a link to that. Watch it after the stream. It's all in German, so you'll need to click on the closed captioning, and then pick the gear, and then do auto translate to convert it to English closed captioning. And it's a little hard to follow because the closed captioning isn't that good, but it does give you some information that they haven't necessarily come out and directly talked about. Like animal breeds are a thing. So there will be milk breeds and meat breeds for your cattle. They didn't necessarily say male cows, like bulls, are non-milking, milk-producing cows. They just refer to as cows that produce more milk and have low-value meat, and the cows that have high-value meat and low milk. So it sounds like to some degree the breeds in season 19 are going to be a thing, or something like that. We did see in the animal video that at least for some higher end animal pens, there's going to be the Lily Vector feeding robot. If you didn't see that, I can pull it up for you. But basically, looks like what you're going to do is you're going to pile your food in one area of the building, and either it's going to automatically, or you're going to use a crane to put food in for the Lily Vector robot, and then the Vector robot is going to basically feed your cows for you. But I don't think that's going to be available in every single cow pen. It's probably going to be in the bigger, more expensive ones. Okay, we spend more time unloading this harvester. I am glad it doesn't unload as slow as the one on Griffin, Indiana. That one takes like 2 minutes to empty. Slow down. Alright, let's see if we can't find that video real quick. No. Sort of a date. Get that moving again. Where did I put it? Oh, here it is. All right, let's watch this animal trailer real fast. And I'll show you this feeding thing. So we got new animal animations, right? So here you go. This is it. So we got 3 compartments, and then we got this crane that feeds into this, which is a feed mixer robot. And then the feed mixer robot then basically feeds your cows. So that's going to be available somehow for select cow areas. Alien Jim, what is up? The world doesn't know what it's doing. Call the authorities. We have an alien in the house. GeForce Now. What about GeForce Now? So yeah, I think that's in some of the animal pens, but not all of them, obviously. That'd make it awful expensive. I'm doing pretty good, Alien Jim. Glad you could join us right as we come to the end of our stream. Like always. Just doing a little mid-afternoon streaming for me. Evening streaming for you guys that are on the other side of the Atlantic. Coming to a conclusion of our gameplay here on Susquehanna River Valley as we look forward to Farm Sim 22's release. No, nothing new yet, but we will be. We'll be doing some Friday Night Forza next Friday. Whoa. It's funny, we made it. We made it almost down and back. Four days is indeed a 48-day year in FS22. Well, that will come. That will come. The editor will come for sure. Oh, GeForce Now, that's a streaming thing. So you are streaming games off of the NVIDIA servers. So you're paying for the privilege of basically playing the games off of their servers. You've got to have some level of internet service to do that, because what you're doing is it's rendering all on their servers, and their servers are sending you basically the video of your gameplay that your computer then displays to you. And then your keyboard commands, your controller buttons commands are going back over the internet to their servers for execution. So it's streaming gameplay. So you want to have decent, reliable internet connection. And you want to read the terms and conditions of that for sure. Because I think you pay money and you still have some conditions and restrictions. So, for example, if they offer FS19 and FS22, those will surely be mod free. Because they're running off of their servers. Well, the editor will come at some point after game release because, as you know, right, the editor relies on the game files and assets. That's why you won't see the editor before, because the editor really doesn't do anything without those game files and assets. Yeah, that is something lots of folks want. Get their hands on the editor. Get in there and start picking the maps apart, figuring out how they do things, and start picking out equipment apart. Can't wait to see what folks do with the fast baler and the New Holland round baler. Those are the pieces of machinery that have the pre-chambers. Rabbit Rob, welcome. How are you this fine afternoon? We're going to be able to fill up this trailer twice. Stop! Back up the truck. They did. They've added some additional terrain angles. That was a kind of like a Twitter post, right? Or a Facebook thing a couple months ago, right after FarmCon. Kind of shockingly, actually. You know, they had that session where they talked about, well, there was a Q&A, and Bullet Bill was the one that asked about adding MTA. More terrain angles, we'll call it. And they're basically, no, it can't be done, performance, blah, blah, blah. And then like a week later, they just mic drop an image showing additional terrain angles. Like, did you not just say, no, you couldn't do it, and now you do it? I really thought they should not have done that quickly. Even if they rethought it and they're like, well, actually, we could probably add a couple more angles and it wouldn't do anything. They should have sat on that announcement for like a month or two and then release it and basically said, look what we've done. Because from a PR perspective, saying no and then immediately turning around and posting something that completely goes against what you previously said, well, that's sus, to use the language of the kids. Like what we'll do is we're going to finish out this field, sell our millet, and call it a stream. I'll need to finish out field 12 on my own some. It won't take long to get this last little bit. Well, that is the perk of playing on PC, right? You've got access to the game files, you have access to the map files, the mod files. Having access to the file system gives PC players a lot of freedom to modify, change, and enhance their own gameplay. I remember way back in 17 when I realized that I could change the price of a mod by just editing a file. I felt a little giddy. Because at that point in my very, very young farm sim gameplay, I was having a hard time earning money. And there was stuff I wanted to buy, but I couldn't buy it in game because I had a hard time earning the money. So I just made things a lot cheaper. And I was able to enjoy it. Then I slowly learned other ways to make money that ultimately made my gameplay even more enjoyable. So then I didn't have to worry about making everything cheap. Should be able to hold most of this, if not all of it. Well, I guess we're not going to hold most of it. We'll hire him out. And let's go make some more moolah. Money, 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 money. What do y'all think of the new bale sizes? We get 3 different round bale sizes. We have a standard small square baler. Then we have our big squares still. So we have 5 different types of bales in the game now. I know there's some folks curious how the Anderson trailers will interact with those various shaped round bales, or various sized round bales. Oh, slow down. Slow down. So I asked this the other day, nobody answered me. What is your favorite Halloween candy? I'd say I'm kind of partial to small Snickers. And anything with peanuts in it. Genetic J, yes. That is my favorite Halloween candy. Yes. Ah, see, candy corn, that is just, it's an abomination for me. I mean, it's just sugar. There's no other flavor to it. Let's Helper J blocked by. Ah, the simple taste of peppermint pâtés. We know Thor, he likes his rum drops, rum tops, rum something. What if they made a peanut butter Kit Kat? Oh. Ah, time to make me some more money. Oh, yeah, that's an opportunity that they're missing, right? They're completely missing out on that opportunity. Get going. Pick 2 maps, eh? Kit Kat Peanut Butter Crunch. I don't think I've ever seen that. But I have to say, with Alien Jim in the house, there can be only one. It's the Highlander map. No Man's Land, it's every man's map. It's whatever map you want it to be. You just have to make it. The map is only limited by your imagination. Of course, if your imagination is so limited, well then, that's just sad. That's why I never could play on No Man's Land map, because, well, I have a very sad imagination. I mean, that map has inspired so many other map features. I mean, we had South Island Farm by CCS 101 that was kind of an island No Man's Land-esque. I think it came out before No Man's Land, but the whole concept of just a whole bunch of grass and carve up your own fields, right? Well, so we need to redefine the best pre-built map. That's something else I'm going to do in FS22 is I'm going to have multiple playlists. Right now I have one playlist, which is all the map videos. I'm going to do that in 22, but I'm also going to kind of categorize maps. So we'll have a American map playlist. We'll have a, I don't know, maybe a European map playlist. A playlist for 4X maps. A playlist for small maps. A playlist for, you know, micro maps if they really start kicking off. Maybe a playlist for build your own maps if they kick off. All the map, we'll still have the singular playlist of all the map videos, but if you're only interested in American maps, well then we'll have an American map playlist. I wasn't going to go back and try to recategorize 315 maps for 19, but I think we'll try that in 22. And on that note, everybody, I'm going to go ahead and call it an afternoon. I made a promise with my youngest that we would make some chocolate chip cookies this afternoon, so that is what I'm going to head off and start doing. Like I said, keep an eye on the channel. We might be streaming NASCAR 21 tonight, or we might not. And you won't know until it's scheduled. But if we don't stream it tonight, we'll definitely stream it tomorrow. If we stream it tonight, we won't be streaming it tomorrow because, well, I've got other stuff I need to get done. And thank you for the late sub there, Adam. Much appreciated. And until next time, happy farming.